Sit back, relax, and let your imagination drift. Because today, you're about to follow Arian on an extraordinary journey beyond time and worlds. At dawn, Arian opened his eyes to a quiet village wrapped in mist. Something deep within the forest was calling him, a whisper older than words. He followed the echo through the morning fog, finding glowing footprints on the earth, warm, alive, not human. The forest seemed to breathe, watching him back. And when he stepped inside, destiny stepped with him. The forest grew darker. Light bent strangely between the trees. Arian's breath turned cold as whispers circled him. Voices from nowhere, calling his name. He saw a faint figure ahead, wrapped in silver light. He took one step closer, and the forest moved. Branches curled, roots shifted, and the path behind him vanished.
Arian wandered for hours, maybe days. Time felt broken here. Then, by a stream glowing faintly blue, he found a pendant, a crystal pulsing like a heartbeat. When he touched it, a woman's voice echoed in his mind. "Find me before the moon dies." The vision vanished, leaving only silence. He placed the crystal around his neck, unaware it had already chosen him.
Night fell fast. Stars glimmered between the trees like eyes watching. Arian lit a small fire, clutching the glowing crystal. Then he heard footsteps, slow, heavy, human. A shadow emerged, an old traveler, eyes bright as frost. "You shouldn't have touched it," the man whispered. "Now it knows you." Before Arian could reply, the stranger vanished in.
At dawn, the forest opened into a forgotten temple of stone and moss. The walls hummed softly when he approached. Symbols glowed under his touch, and the crystal shone in answer. A gate appeared, carved from light itself. He stepped through, and the world changed.
Arian found himself in a vast desert under a violet sky. The air shimmered with heat, but the sand sang softly beneath his feet. He walked until his strength faded, then saw a city rising from the horizon, made of glass and shadow. Was it real or just a mirage? Only the crystal in his hand felt real, still pulsing, still leading him on.
The city gates were guarded by statues, tall, silent, ancient. As Arian stepped closer, their eyes glowed. The gates opened by themselves. Inside, no people, only echoes, laughter frozen in air. Then a voice spoke. "You're late." He turned and saw her, the woman from his vision, standing in the light. The woman's name was Lyra. Her eyes held centuries of stories. She told him the crystal was a fragment of the moon's heart, a key to awaken the sleeping sky. But only one pure soul could carry it without fading. "Will you help me?" she asked softly. Arian nodded. He already knew the answer. Among the orbs, a shadow appeared, tall, silent, its shape almost human. "You carry what was never meant for mortals," it said. Arian raised the crystal. "Then why was I chosen?" The shadow smiled, not cruel, but sad. "Because you still ask." It vanished, leaving behind silence and a choice. A storm rose within the glass city. The sky cracked open, lightning without thunder. Lyra screamed as shadows poured from the rift. Arian drew his sword. The blade hummed like thunder, glowing the same color as the crystal. He fought, heart steady, breath calm. When it ended, silence reigned, but the rift remained waiting.
The rift pulsed like a wound in the sky. Lyra's light dimmed as the darkness whispered her name. Arian held her hand, the crystal glowing between them. "We can still close it," she said, voice trembling. He nodded, stepping closer to the storm. The light swallowed them both.
They awoke in a realm without sky. Floating stones, rivers of stars. Time itself shimmered around them. "This is the realm of the forgotten," Lyra said, "where lost souls dream." Arian listened. He could hear faint voices calling his name. He realized they were memories, his own. Each step Arian took revealed another memory, his childhood, his mother's voice, his first scar. Lyra touched his shoulder. "The crystal feeds on truth. You must face yourself." He closed his eyes, saw his fears, failure, loneliness, loss. When he opened them again, the crystal burned brighter. He had accepted his shadow. A bridge of moonlight formed ahead. Lyra whispered, "Beyond this, there's no return." Arian smiled softly. "Then I won't need one." Together they crossed, the stars below reflecting their courage. At the other end, a colossal gate stood waiting, carved from pure crystal, humming with power.
The gate spoke in light. Two souls bound by truth may pass. Arian reached for Lyra's hand, but her form flickered. "You can't hold me there," she said. "Only you can enter." He hesitated, then nodded, walking through alone. As he vanished, her voice echoed, "Don't forget me." Inside, there was no floor, only endless blue light. Arian floated, surrounded by the sound of heartbeats. Then he saw them, countless orbs drifting like souls. Each carried a memory, a world, a life. He touched one and saw the birth of the stars. Tears fell from his eyes. Among the orbs, a shadow appeared, tall, silent, its shape almost human. "You carry what was never meant for mortals," it said. Arian raised the crystal. "Then why was I chosen?" The shadow smiled, not cruel, but sad. "Because you still ask." It vanished, leaving behind silence and a choice. Arian found a throne of light at the heart of the realm. On it rested another crystal, dark, pulsing weakly. He understood, one for light, one for shadow. He placed his beside it, and both began to sing. Their song filled the void, weaving night and day together. The two crystals merged, creating a blinding beam through the sky. Arian saw worlds forming, forests blooming, oceans roaring, but then silence. The light faded, and he stood alone again. A voice whispered, "You have rebuilt what was lost." Arian reached the sea, endless, calm, silver under the moon. He felt peace for the first time, but then the tide rose, carrying whispers. The rift still breathes. Beneath the sea, time didn't move. Orion floated through cities of coral and glass. A great shape moved in the dark, a serpent of light and shadow. It spoke without words. "You are its guardian now." Orion bowed his head. The serpent vanished, leaving a mark of fire on his arm. Arian returned to the surface, the mark still burning. When he touched it, visions flooded his mind. Storms, stars, the faces of lost souls. He finally understood. He was the bridge between worlds. He smiled. "Then I'll walk forever." He traveled across lands reborn, helping those who'd forgotten the light. People began whispering his name in prayers. The Wanderer of Dawn. He never stayed long. The road was endless, but his story lit every heart it touched. One morning, the crystal inside his heart flickered. He knew his time was ending. He stood beneath the rising sun, whispering, "Thank you for letting me be the light." And then he was gone, like mist returning to the dawn. Centuries passed. People told stories of Arian, the wanderer, the guardian, the one who healed the stars. His home became a shrine, and on quiet nights, some said they still saw his shadow walking through the mist, smiling. Arian's legend had become a guiding light. Travelers found crystals glowing in hidden forests, carrying whispers of his courage. Each heartbeat remembered the sacrifice, the hope, and the endless journey.
Every 1,000 years, when the moon turns silver, a traveler finds a glowing crystal near the forest, and when they touch it, the whisper begins again. A new Arian, a new journey. The legend never truly ends, it just begins anew.